I came from an accounting background originally, so I worked 14 years in sort of doing management accounts. So that gave me lots of different skills, and I was very interested in making sure that everything is, I have that sort of attention to detail. So what's been my most rewarding moment or achievement since starting my franchise? I think that has to be being nominated for the EWIF award for New Franchisee Woman of the Year for 2024. The team at Pink Spaghetti encouraged me to apply. I think at the time I just thought, oh, I will give it a go. Sent in my application, and I really didn't expect to hear anything else about it. And yeah, I was nominated, so one of 4 people to get through, along with the rest of somebody else from the Pink Spaghetti team, and 4 of us who had nominations from Pink Spaghetti. It was an amazing experience going, even though I didn't win, which actually it was more about being nominated, was great. The experience was just amazing. I spent time with the actual, the whole support team, and it was just it was, I felt very, very proud, to be honest. To start with, it was very difficult. I think there was lots of training, lots of feeling that I had imposter syndrome, and working weekends, and just the whole sort of the setup was quite daunting to start with, but it settled down pretty quickly. I found out that, well, I knew I was very organized anyway, but it helped me to be very organized. So I set myself different sort of tasks and targets to achieve. I've now got a dedicated social media assistant, and that's really helped with making sure that I can get my business promoted and out there, because as my clients find, working on their own business is a bit that can take lots of time. You can get very sort of go down lots of different rabbit holes, but having somebody else that takes that pressure away, I can now concentrate more on the client work. And I've recently just taken on somebody else to help with the admin side, because things at Pink Spaghetti Reading have got very busy. I think it's the thing most surprised me is how much more confident, even though I don't sound it now, how much more confident I have become. I was really not looking forward to ever having to market myself or go networking. The thought of networking for me filled me with dread, and actually that I overcame that really, really quickly. And I think one of the books that I was sent from the support team had a nice sort of package that came through, and one of them that came through was, and I tell this to everybody that I speak to, was the Unnatural Networker. And I read the book in one sitting, and it described me perfectly. So I'm not a natural networker. I thought networking was going out and really selling yourself and trying to sell yourself as a product type thing, and it's not at all. It's building relationships, getting to know people, referring, understanding what other people do in their business, talking to them. So whenever I speak to anybody about networking, my experience has now only been really positive. And because my business is quite busy, I really miss the networking side, and I try and go to as many as I can. And actually, I found evening networking for me is much better than the daytime ones, because I'll have finished client work, I'm feeling a lot more relaxed, and I haven't got the pressure then to get back home to my desk and work. So yeah, I think that's what surprised me most about myself, is being able to network. What advice would I give to someone considering a pink spaghetti franchise? I think the first thing I would say is be prepared as you can be. There's lots of training, and I think I underestimated how much training there was, but it's really good training, and I do enjoy learning. Also, make sure that in those initial few weeks where you are doing all the training and you're not sort of networking or marketing yourself, that you've got the finances behind you to take that pressure off trying to find clients. Because I think I found the training really, really useful. And at the time, I found it quite intense, but now when I reflect back and all the elements that I learned and have retained and still use and now can use with clients, that's been invaluable. So yes, I would say plan to be busy in that initial few weeks and really dedicate yourself to the training, because it does really pay off in the end. Quite an interesting story, really. One of the existing franchisees, Ruth, that has the Winchester franchise, I used to manage her at the last company that I worked for quite a few years, and we got on really, really well. And she used to take on work, that's when I was working in academic publishing. We'd get some very sort of more difficult jobs that used to come in that weren't the norm, if you like, and Ruth was always very keen to take those on. And then she left, and I was very disappointed, because the work that she used to do was a bit more difficult than the other stuff that used to be done. And she mentioned she was starting up a franchise with Pink Spaghetti. So I had never heard of Pink Spaghetti. I looked them up and thought, oh, that sounds very interesting. And about a month after she'd started, I contacted Ruth to see how it was going. And she said, great. And then I contacted her about 6 months later, and she said, Mel, it's the best thing I've ever done. So I did contact Pink Spaghetti. At the time that I contacted them, there wasn't a territory available for me. So I think it was Ruth had come up to her year anniversary. I saw a post on LinkedIn, and the post looked great. I was thinking, wow, Ruth's doing, these posts are amazing, and contacted her again. And yeah, it's still very, very positive. Contacted Pink Spaghetti, and yes, there was a position available, or there was a territory available. The reason I left my last company and wanted to start up my own was because, as I said earlier, I worked with them for 14 years, started when they were very, very small. And the plan was always that they were going to make me a director of the company. And that was supposed to have been in years now, it would have been about 8 years ago. And that never materialized. And I did lots of sort of different courses. I've done a management and leadership course, which took me 2 years to do, to prepare me to take on a directorship. And then they said it would be in 5 years' time. And I think, reflecting on my own sort of age as well, I thought, well, in 5 years' time, I don't want to be taking on a role of that sort of magnitude. I wanted to start now and build, then instead of when I was older. So I thought, well, actually, this is the opportunity to branch out on my own. And knowing that Ruth had done really well with Pink Spaghetti and doing lots of research, yes, I decided to take the leap, and here I am today. I thought what drew me was when I did my research, how well established Pink Spaghetti were within the industry. They'd won lots of different awards. So yes, I wanted to be part of something that had that background and stability. The onboarding process, as I probably explained earlier, it was very comprehensive. Lots of, I think the bit that I found most helpful was the marketing, because the marketing material that is provided and the help that you get to use all sorts of different platforms, so things like Canva, how to market yourself properly and effectively was amazing, and it wasn't really something that I even sort of considered before. And yeah, I just think it's that has really helped to elevate my work and to attract clients. Basically, I think what you see other people producing and helping you to get out of your comfort zone as well. So things like doing videos. I remember I had the training for Loom videos, and I think I just thought, well, that fills me with dread. But actually, once you've done something once and you've survived it, then it just gave me a lot more confidence. And again, it's using these tools, I think, for when you have clients, and yeah, it gives you a lot of confidence, basically. So what do I enjoy most about being part of the Pink Spaghetti network? I think the key word there is network. It is a network. There's you've got access to the Pink Spaghetti support team, who are very supportive, and not just saying that, they're always at the end of the phone. If you send them an email, they get back to you straight away. There's also the wider network with all the franchisees. We've got a dedicated Facebook page so you can ask different questions of the franchisees, and there's always somebody that's got an answer. So you've got access to a lot of different brains that can help you or give you advice. And I think also, when I first started, the first job that I did was a cross franchise, with some cross franchise work, and that really gave me the help and assistance to get myself going. And I also then had another franchisee to help me through the process of working with the client, meeting their expectations and getting me going, basically. So yeah, that has been a really great part of being part of the network. So like I say, it's a network. There's lots of people to call upon and for help and advice.